Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer 2 multiplayer action. Decided to give Lance Demis a try. I've been seeing some other higher level players using them recently, been discussing about them in general, and yeah, let's quickly talk about the Lance Demis. So, they have a little bit better melee defense than Halberds. They do have a missile block chance as well, only 30%, but it's something. They also have a much higher charge bonus, 60 charge bonuses, on par with most shock cavalry, so they can come in and do quite a bit of damage on the charge. We've got two of them up against the Greenskins today, Volkmar the Grim leading the way, front line of spearmen. We've got Sigmar's Sons and the Tattersouls with an Empire Captain giving them a bit more melee defense. A couple units of archers, and Volkmar the Grim with, of course, yeah, the steam tank. Gotta have a steam tank against the Greenskins. As for the tide, it is absolutely a tide. We're up against a massive horde of gobos here. We've got Night Goblins, Skulkers, 3 Doom Divers, a Night Goblin Shaman on Wolf. It's got, let's see here, 2 Night Goblin Shamans on foot as well, so going all in on the Vindictive Glare. Some Spider Riders scattered around. It looks like some Savage Orc Boar Boy Biggins on the corner there, hidden. Waiting for the moment to strike, but yeah, we're just making our way through the woods here. I'm keeping my Demigryph Knights hidden for the time being, obviously not wanting to take that Doom Diver fire to the face. Volkmar is going to lead the way, though. He's going to be our line breaker here, so we'll go ahead and pop in for a ride along as Volkmar makes his way up to the Greenskins line. A little bit slow going up the hill there. Horses are struggling a bit, but nonetheless, we'll make it. Shrugging off the Doom Diver fire, just immediately plowing through the line of gobos. Oh yeah, beautiful stuff. Skulkers are going to come in here, try and get a smoke bomb. Looks like some fanatics being unleashed as the general engagement starts to get underway here. See the archers pouring in some fire. Volkmar going to call down his stream of light here as the Empire troops start to run in as well. Nice little blob to use that on. There were quite a few troops blobbed up there. Meanwhile, Demigryph Knights still just chilling. Yeah, archers coming up here. The flagellants have been getting pounded. The Tattersouls here have been getting absolutely pounded by the Doom Divers, which is not the best, but we're going to continue to push forward here. Volkmar's Terror is quickly breaking this Greenskins front line, so the Wa being popped now, maybe a little late, but still being popped. You can see the archers firing in here, trying to take out that Doom Diver crew. But yeah, Volkmar just pushing through heavy right now. Not a lot that can stop him in terms of mass. I mean, maybe these Spider Riders could come in and try, but yeah, they're going to have a tough time. That being said, my ground force is getting torn apart pretty bad. Spearmen not doing great in most aspects. The Tattersouls are still fighting here with the Empire Captain, but they have taken a ton of damage. Archers also getting routed off here by Doom Diver fire. So yeah, those Doom Divers just absolutely relentless at this point. You can see already tilting the balance of power somewhat in the Greenskins' favor here. But of course, Volkmar is irresolute. He will forever fight. You can see the Empire troops defending his wagon here from the foul spiders and everything. Yeah, those Empire troops will continue to fight for some time here. They've got quite a bit of health left. They're all juiced up on prayers. Good stuff. Meanwhile, this other unit of spearmen making their way over, trying to shut down this Doom Diver, and the Sigmar's Sons were able to beat down the nasty Skulkers. Finally deployed the Lance Demis here. And we're going to now check in with them as they come over. The steam tank providing some nice long-range fire, taking some Doom Diver shots to the dome. Oh, the Fanatics too. Very nice Fanatics cast right down the line of those Demigryph Knights. Will do quite a bit of HP damage. I'm going to go ahead and use my Lore of Life caster, who's been hidden here in the woods, to throw down a Shield of Thorns to give us some physical resistance as we charge in, help shrug off some of the Doom Diver fire, and in case we run into any more Fanatics. Likewise, we're going to throw a Regrowth on the Steam Tank, since it's been tanking out a lot of that Doom Diver damage as well. We can heal it very efficiently here. And yeah, Volkmar continuing to just make mincemeat of the lines of the Greenskins here, but Lance Demis, Lance is couched. Oh man, they look amazing. Beautiful on the charge. Absolutely amazing. The Murder Chickens come in and just absolutely destroy everything. Those Forest Goblin Spider Riders just get terrorized immediately, obviously. These ones over here also. Just look at that 60 charge bonus, man. I mean, I know Spider Riders are a light unit anyway, with not the best melee defense. They have okay melee defense, but still. A second Wa being popped as the Night Goblin Shaman was actually in melee against those Spearmen for some time. Did end up taking a bunch of damage, but Volkmar calls down another stream of light there with the Captain. Captain's still fighting here. And yeah, Although his flagellant unit that he was supporting is gone, the captain continues to fight. He is a true OG here. Doom Diver getting shut down by the Lance Demis. Do need to try and pull away here before the Skulkers come in, or nope, we're just going to sit and tank it, actually. No, we do pull away, that's right. So, another Shield of Thorns to give, again, more physical resistance, 125 armor as well, so very, very tanky. That 36 melee defense doesn't seem like much, but it is better. Regular Halberd Demis, I say regular, Halberd Demis actually only have 30 melee defense, but another nice rear charge here, right on Volkmar. Oh man, this is what you guys come here to see, right? If you're not here to see this, I don't know why you're here, to be honest. But yeah, it's still relatively close as well. There's still a lot of gobos left on the field, though taking out the steam tank plus Volkmar is going to be a bit of an issue. There aren't a whole lot of units that can do that. Even these Savage Orc Boarboy Biggins with their, 63 charge bonus, anti-large AP, probably will struggle, especially with Volkmar supporting these Lance Demis. I mean, this is just such a scary little kill squad here. Just rolling around, rolling over all the Greenskins. Oh man, those Doom Divers. They are in trouble. Lance Demis not too happy about the damage that had been done to the Flagellants and other such units. You can see the Sigmar's son still fighting here. I was going to try and use them to maybe bail out the captain, but at this point, with this big terror route going down, Steam Tank going to use its main gun to try and rout off the Great Shaman there. And the Lance Demis is going to continue to clean up in the back line here. Covered in blood head to toe at this point. I love the regular color scheme for the Demis too. That red and gold of Reichland looks so good. Looks like another little zap there. I'm not sure exactly what that went after. Looks like some Demigryph Knights there maybe taking those shots, but at this point it's just a matter of time before we can clean up the last of the gobos. You can see these Spider Riders here are going to take a shot or two from the steam tank potentially. Maybe. There we go. Right on target. They'll probably rout off relatively soon. Yeah. A little bit unfortunate. My opponent here, Benis, was holding these Savage Orc Boarboy Biggins in reserve. You can see he does activate them now. They were not forgotten. They were specifically just being held back. He didn't really know if how the Orc Boarboy Biggins would trade against the Lance Demis. I mean, certainly with the support of Volkmar, they're not necessarily going to trade great, and Volkmar's bombardment as well with the magic damage is going to do a ton of damage to the Boarboy Biggins. But yeah, fun battle nonetheless. Still some nice back and forth, and those Demis, yeah, they've definitely paid for themselves. 109 kills, 126 XP chevrons to go around as well. Yeah, with the XP chevron bug currently, these guys are up to 44 and 42. Those their melee stats are, sorry, it was 48 and 42? Yeah, good stuff. Definitely going to be using Lance Demigryphs more often. I haven't really used them much up until this point because they haven't been amazing in the past, and like when I've played Empire players who have brought them, they seem to not perform very well, or when I've brought them in the past. But this time they did very well. Definitely using them more like shock cavalry. You definitely need to take advantage of their charge bonus as much as you can, but using them almost more like like Grail Knights, or you would like a regular shock cav, definitely can pay for themselves very, very well. 195 kills on the steam tank, also 183 from Volkmar. 66 from the Sigmar Sons, 51 from the Tattersouls, despite the Doom Divers there. Captain also racking up 36 to his own name. Yeah, I didn't highlight it there, but the Jade Wizard got absolutely double blasted by the Night Goblin Shamans and shattered instantly. Thankfully, I had already gotten the regrowth off on the steam tank. It was just, I think, just after that second Shield of Thorns there on those Demigryph Knights. But yeah, as for Venice here, the Doom Divers, very good pick in this matchup. Nasty Skulkers, also excellent. This build is honestly pretty decent overall. You do lack a little bit. You don't have any terror, and you also don't have any... the anti-large AP is a little bit lacking here. So we were kind of talking about some different things, and we were also curious to see how those... the Boarboy Biggins would do. We did test them against the Lance Demis, and it was basically the same result as the Halberd Demis. So I'm just going to show you this one test, but just to kind of show you guys the power of Savage Orc Boarboy Biggins specifically. If you do get a good engagement with them. Now keep in mind, these guys are very squishy. They have only 25 armor. They rely on their physical resistance, but they do have a 63 charge bonus with that Frenzy active, and they come in here and just pound those Demigryph Knights with halberds. Keep in mind, again, Demigryph Knights with halberds only 30 melee defense compared to the 38 of the Lance variant. So the Lance variant actually was doing a little bit better on the charge there. The Lance Demis will eventually win out in the end, but you can see the Savage Orc Boy Barbarians actually traded really well there, and especially with Wa active, they're going to absolutely win. So we're going to test that next. Wa popped there, and you can see with the extra charge bonus and melee attack, they just destroy those Demigryph Knights with halberds. So if you can get a good engagement with these Savage Orc Boy Biggins, they will absolutely crump heavy cavalry. You know, even elite heavy cavalry like Demigryph Knights. Keep in mind, though, Grail Knights will hard counter them. Obviously, the magic damage on the physical resistance of the Orc Boy Biggins is going to be pretty one-sided, and the physical resistance as well of the Grail Knights will play into that engagement. But as a counter to Demigryph Knights specifically, I think they're pretty decent. Yeah, just keep in mind, though, again, they are very squishy. You know, very low armor, a little bit of physical resistance, but still, they are very squishy for the cost. But they're not a unit that you see either too often, but I do think that they're one that's decent for the Greenskins if you're worried about elite cavalry. So if we go ahead and have a look here, Greenskins. So the Savage Orc Boy Barbarians, 1,100 points isn't too bad. I mean, they're comparable, I guess, to something like a Questing Knight. So Questing Knights are a lot better, obviously, but like they're just better in every way. Granted, you don't have access to Wa or the same, you know, buff train that you do, but if you look at purely based on weapon strength, the Savage Orc Boy Barbarians don't have enough, but they don't have as much, I should say. But they do have +5 bonus versus large, and they have a much better charge bonus, so they're more of a shock cavalry than the Questing Knights. Questing Knights are more of a melee cav. They have good melee stats, not as high of a charge bonus, but the Savage Orc Boy Barbarians have pretty terrible melee stats, but they have a really good charge bonus, and of course that Frenzy does increase their melee attack even more, and their charge bonus even. So they are a little bit expensive for a Greenskins unit at 1,100, but you can take a few of them to help deal with enemy heavy cavalry, and especially with buffs. Something like, you know, Itchy Nuisance, Sneaky Stabbin' from Lore of the Little Wa. Sneaky Stabbin' in particular, because it's such a cheap buff, you can single target one of these guys for extra melee attack and armor piercing damage. It will hit very, very hard. Of course, you can take, like, Fists of Gork as well. It's going to be really strong, especially for the melee defense component, but even the melee attack and defense so that they can actually connect on their attacks. Obviously, something like Here We Go, if there's a big blob of these guys fighting. I'm not the biggest fan of Here We Go. I think it's a little bit expensive for what you get out of it, but plus 44 melee attack is very significant. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, Itchy Nuisance is also really good. Debuffing your opponent's melee attack, so you'll take less hits because of that low melee defense. It's basically the same thing as buffing your own melee defense, right? So potentially you could do something like, I don't know. You wanted to take the Orc War Boss. I don't think... Azag doesn't have Stand Your Ground, does he? No, he does not. So if you wanted someone mobile with Stand Your Ground, then you're going to have to take the Orc War Boss. I believe he doesn't even have Stand Your Ground. Okay, never mind. I guess, does only Grimgore have Stand Your Ground? That's interesting. So you could potentially buff these guys up with Stand Your Ground from Grimgore, but he's not really mobile enough to make that wildly useful, in my opinion. But yeah, mostly just buffing them up with magic is going to be your way to go. Or, of course, if you have Wurzag, just keeping that constant stream of buffs, you know, constantly throwing out that Bonewood Staff. Bonewood Staff is also very good. 18% charge bonus, especially on that high charge already, is going to make them very good shock cavalry. So I guess this video is mostly about underrated shock cavalry, so hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you do like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button, so every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.